What's up, nerds and nerdettes and we little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G. The Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Alright everyone, so this is another Monday, which brings us to our monologue hour. Can't be a monologue if it's more than one. My monologue. Anyway, before we start off, I just want to thank everyone for subscribing to Two Gun Pixie, as well as checking us out over on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Alright, now let's just jump right into this because I'm just so excited. I really am. It's winter time. It's official, just turned winter. And we have a new catalog. I've really been enjoying doing these catalog videos. I just wish I had better equipment and or talent, mostly the talent, to really do these things up like a real catalog, you know, the turning of the page and everything, and catalog graphics, and oh well, I got what I got, and I got imagination. You put those two together, this is going to be a good episode. Yeah, so why don't we talk about the winter catalog games that are coming into Two Gun Pixie and you can be expecting to see over the next few months. So hopefully you know some of these games, and those that you don't, maybe we'll get you excited enough about to want to check out. Alright everyone, so why don't you meet me down at the table and we'll talk about the Two Gun Pixie Winter Catalog 2019-2020. Hey, thanks a lot everyone for deciding to spend a little time and find out what's cooking over here at Two Gun Pixie. So yeah, I sat down and we have between Kickstarter and other items I know that are coming in, we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff, my friends. So I sat down and I looked at the list of the winter months and figured out I better start knowing what I'm doing over here. So I told Tommy V, I got it, don't worry, I'm handling it, and sure enough, got the list. I want to share it with everyone. So now this is not necessarily in an order, although I believe the first one will be the first one, I think. But the rest of them, oh, camera quake. But the rest of them, there's no particular really order necessarily. Just that I know they're all should be coming in within the time frame. And if some of them don't, I have other games that can fill in the slots. So it definitely looks like 2020. We here will be able to continue an unboxing a week at Two Gun Pixie. Thank you very much. So, but this, let's talk about this. Let's give you a quick little teaser on all the things that are going to be going down around here. So, from Osprey Games comes Martin Wallace's board expansion. Oh yeah, just a board. Well, it's a double-sided board, and that is for his hot game Wildlands. And this is the Warlock's Tower and the Crystal Canyons. And that's exactly what it is. One side of the board depicts a wizard's tower and the surrounding area. On the other side, the Crystal Canyons. So I'm really looking forward to that, adding that, and also seeing if it's going to fit in the box. It might. I'm wondering if the box is going to stick up a little bit. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if I could get it to fit in the main box, the core box. But that's coming up, so keep your eye out for that. Oh, there is a Kickstarter game. Well, there's a few of them on this list, actually. But that's how you know they might not all come in on time. But like I said, I got a few other titles then that I'll surprise you all with. Including a few that didn't quite make it from the last catalog. Trust me, if there was something from the last catalog that you were waiting for and hasn't dropped, I got it. I just got to get it on the list now that it already missed. In fact, if there is something, let me know. Let me know what it is, and maybe I'll be able to bump it up to the top. Right? Anyway, so this is a Kickstarter game created by Hayden Trost. And this is called Potato Inferno. So this is a fast-paced game of passing the hot seat. It is to the hot potato game that exploding kittens is to Russian roulette. So this is also a great game for kids that are learning their numbers and addition. It definitely will help for that. And it's also just a fun family game that can be appreciated by adults because it's quick, it's fast, and it's funny. During the course of the game, the heat level is rising, and the cards you're playing are either going to continue to make it rise until it becomes too hot for someone, or you're going to be using things like condiments to cool the temperature down. So it also adds in a little bit of a kind of take that-ish feel to the game. I think this is going to be a fun party game. Also from Kickstarter, Robin Hood, Hero of the People. This is a solo play game from Rodney Owen. And this is actually has a 2-player option that made it on the Kickstarter, but it is at its core was originally designed as a solo play game. And it's literally rob from the rich, play action cards, and thrilling stories. Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're starting the game off and you're robbing from the rich, which is basically you are taking from an equipment pile. And then from there, you're going to be playing some action cards to advance your causes or to help mitigate things that are going on in the game. And then the thrilling stories, well, that's exactly it. These are stories that are trying to drive the game forward, trying to make this mini filler game a little bit of a story-driven game. There's going to be things you can handle, and quite frankly, there's going to be things you can't. Yet. So it's gonna be very fast-paced, but yet strategic at the same time. And the 2-player is a head-to-head, the sheriff's revenge. One player versus the other in an all-out. Who the hell is gonna outsmart the other one? Yeah, so looking at this list, everything else on it is actually Kickstarter games. But they're, except for the very last one on the list, they're all funded. And the last one is almost totally funded. And it's at the point of this filming, it still has a little over 2 weeks to go. So I really don't foresee any problems with that. But just to let you know, everything else on this list going forward, Kickstarter, baby. So from Gamelin Games, the master of the Tiny Epic Games. And the next one in their line by Scott Alms, and that's Tiny Epic Tactics. This game is a rushing nesting doll of tiny epic boxes. Because that's exactly what the 3D terrain is inside the box is compartments of other boxes that have terrain art on them, and you're going to be setting them all up in a very 3D board manner. I'm a sucker for 3D terrain and 3D stuff in a board game. Always have been since I've been a kid, and that hasn't changed ever. It's also really a lot. There's multiple styles of playing this game. You can play it competitive from a 2 to 4 player count, or you can play it competitive 2 versus 2, a team competitive mode. There's cooperative play for 2 players, there's a solo mode, and there's this map builder mode that kind of lets you build your own little mini campaigns. So the old DM in me is really looking forward to that map builder mode. And at its heart, it looks like it's gonna be a really fun fantasy romp. You know, whether we're taking it as a tactical combat game or whether we're taking it as a more adventure game. I'm really hoping the balance works out good, but you know, we'll see. Tiny Epic is usually good, but there's a couple of things that hasn't always sat right with me. But I have really, really high hopes, and I'm looking forward to this. Another solo game. Another solo game. And this one is by Wreck Havoc Games and designer Pete North. And this is called Ghost Star. And this is alleged to be a highly thematic sci-fi horror card game for one player. The evils, the dark terrors in this game that you will be facing have some of the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen, but they also have deep stories behind them. And although this is a solo play game, it is rather story driven. Well, maybe more nightmare driven. And I know I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out and how that feels. Another thing that really excited me about this game, and I know I understand that what I'm about to tell you is just a skin. It really is. It's just a skinning, one skinning or another on top of the same skeleton. But yet, I love the fact that this game uses psionics, psychic powers and abilities. Not magic, not high-tech, powers of the mind. I'd like to see more games do that. Use that skin. Again, it's the same principle. I just like the way that comes off. If you wanted to know what an 80s arcade feels like, there's a couple of games out there. And there's a new one to contend with most thematic feel for that. And that's a game by Joey Turco and Patrick Peterson. It was published by Hypercube Games. And this is called Dungeon Brawler for 1 to 4 players. This game appealed to me because of nostalgia, first off. Second off, the player count 1 to 4, fast-paced game. All these things caught my attention. But you know, like me, when you cut your teeth on classic fantasy gaming, sometimes it just feels good to go back to that and experience it again. And that's what I'm really hoping to get from this game. It's a cooperative game, deep strategy in it, and at the same time, they try to blend in that classic button masher simulation into this deck builder. So, fingers crossed that what they think it's going to be and what they promise it's going to be will be something close to what we want it to be. Bully Pulpit Games. Several years back, they came out with a game that quickly became a cult classic with gamers. No box, no dice came with it, no pencils, no pawns, no miniatures, no meeples. It was just a book. And that book that Bully Pulpit gave us was called Fiasco. Now they've decided to redo it, streamline it down to a card game. And that's exactly what they did, and it exploded on Kickstarter. And I am so happy that I backed this game, because the first game we never had time to get to the table. I still got the 2 books sitting there. But now, with it streamlined down to cards, I think there may be a better chance of actually seeing this happen. And if you're not familiar with Fiasco, just kind of picture a Coen's brother crime fiasco in a game. In an open world, the most sandbox open world storytelling game you can pretty much imagine. A game of powerful ambition and poor judgment. This is going to be awesome. My wife is not a huge gamer, not anywhere near my level. She is low casual, but she does have games that she likes. And sometimes when I'm perusing through Kickstarter, I see something and I think of my wife. And that's exactly what happened with this game here. Designer Brian Rauch and Firestorm Labs delivers a 2 to 5 player family-friendly game called Shaky Pets. If you want to get an idea of what this game is, the feel of this game, just imagine putting Uno, Exploding Kittens, and Clue in a cement mixer. When you pour it out, you got Shaky Pets. It's a bluffing game. It's a stealing game. It's a take that game. It's got a lot of little aspects to it from other games, but ultimately what you have to do is you have to correctly guess what the secret hidden pet is. Oh, and also during the game, you get to occasionally throw an octopus at other players. Jason Hunter, he decided to make a tiny mint tin box game, fantasy game, solo style that he himself would want to play. And after finishing the design, he realized that Little Living Dungeon was that game. Besides being one player, besides being tiny, being fast, what caught my attention is that you, the player, are the dungeon. It isn't just called a living dungeon. It is alive. It is evolving from the first card, the first room that it is. It is evolving. It is gaining energy. It is gaining power, mana. And it is gaining the ability to protect itself. Protect itself from whom? Protect itself from those evil adventurers that keep coming into it and wreaking havoc and killing things and stealing things. It's killing the dungeon. So you need to evolve to kill those pesky adventurers. Now the Kickstarter deluxe of this is coming with a 2-player mode, and I'm really looking forward to checking that out, as well as the fact that there's going to be an optional rule to actually play the bad guys. And in this case, the bad guys are those adventurers. I like the way this all twists up, and I'm really looking forward to playing a living dungeon. Now, the last one on this list has a little more than 2 weeks to go, and I'm convinced with how little it needs that it is going to fund, so I confidently put it on this list. And it's supposed to have a fast turnaround and be in the backers' hands within the next month. So, fingers, toes, and tails crossed, my friends. Yosef Fari brings us a solo play samurai combat game, card game, called Way of the Samurai. And in this game, you will be playing the legendary swordsman Miyamoto Masushi. And in this, you will be doing legendary, living, epic battles. There is a 2-player option with this game, so you can go head-to-head with another player, but at its core, it was designed as a solo play game. And this is also not going to be in stores. This game is a Kickstarter exclusive. You know, and sometimes it just feels good to know that you got a limited item something. I didn't plan it that way. I didn't notice that actually until after I backed it. But I'm very curious. Can't wait to show it off to you. Now, if you've been counting, there's a few slots open, and I'm leaving them as a buffer space, but there is stuff, more stuff coming in. Like I said, I have leftover stuff, and if everything works out fine, these empty slots will go to maybe, I'm thinking, leftover from the last catalog. If I do end up having the 2 empty slots for the winter catalog, it will be Dinosaur Island, and the expansion, Totally Liquid. But let's see what happens. All right, so there you go, everyone. There is the 2-Gun Pixie, the official 2-Gun Pixie Winter Catalog 2019-2020, right there for you. I hope some of these games excite you, and if not, at least make you curious enough to watch us and see how excited we are about them. Maybe a little bit of that will rub off. Thank you very much, everyone. It's so cool that you go and you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That is very nice that you see what we're doing over there. We're trying to keep up a little bit. Not great, but we're doing a little better than we were 6 months ago as far as dropping things. So thank you for sticking with us. And everyone that's been going over the Two Gun Pixie Zazzle store. There was another sale this month so far, and this is just the beginning of the month. Wow, thank you so much. But even if you haven't been buying anything, you take the time. You take the time and you go over and you look. And that's amazing that you do that. You know, maybe sometime soon I'll get a little time. I have a few designs in my head. Be able to pop back up there and give you guys some new options. Thank you for checking that all out. That is amazing. Thank you. And I don't even know what to say better than thank you, which is what you deserve for being right here with us on this ride. Our home on YouTube. You subscribe to the videos, you watch the videos, you like, you comment, and you subscribe. And you share. You share our videos. That is amazing. When I see a video shared, I'm like, whoa! Honest. That's exactly what. Whoa! So you're absolutely the coolest. December is just starting, so enjoy wherever you are. Enjoy. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.